It was the summer after I graduated high school, and I got a job working at Build-A-Bear Workshop. At first, it was just a fun way to spend my days before college, but as the weeks went by, I started hearing some of the strangest, most touching, and sometimes awkward requests from customers. You never really know what kind of emotional baggage people bring with them to a store like that. But there was one day that stands out above all the rest, one that really made me think about the power of memory and the strange ways people hold on to them. I was working behind the counter when a man came in, alone, with a gift bag in hand. He was in his mid-30s, wearing dark clothes with a scruffy beard, and there was something about him that seemed a little off. Maybe it was the way he avoided eye contact or the heaviness in his posture. But he came up to me and explained that he wanted to make a bear for a woman he was dating. At first, I thought it was sweet, but as he described the gift, things started to take a weird turn. When we got to the part where he had to record a message for the bear, he asked if he could do it privately. I didn't think much of it at first. It's not unusual for people to want privacy for personal messages. He moved away from the counter, to a corner of the store, and stepped into an area behind the shelves. I followed him with the sound machine and plugged in the voice box, ready to help him record. But then, I accidentally pressed the button too early. The message played through the speaker, clear and loud for anyone to hear. "I'm outside for you, in your closet," the voice crackled. I froze. It was the strangest thing to hear in such a light-hearted environment, and I could feel my face flush with discomfort. What did he mean by that? It sounded like something straight out of a thriller movie. My first instinct was to pretend I hadn't heard it, but the awkwardness lingered. The man looked up at me, then quickly moved over to the corner of the store, probably realizing that his message had been unintentionally played aloud. I couldn't tell if he'd meant it to be funny or if it was a dark inside joke, but either way, it didn't sit well with me. I could see in his eyes that he didn't want anyone else to hear that message. But it was out there now. I went back to work, my mind spinning with that odd recording, and soon enough, another customer came up to me. This time, it was a dad with his little girl. They were looking to make a stuffed dog for her, and when it was time to record a message in the paw, the dad stepped up to the sound machine. He smiled warmly as he whispered into the microphone. It was clear that this was a special moment for him, a father showing love for his daughter. The message was simple: "I love you so much, sweetie. I'll always be here for you." It was sweet and heartfelt, and as I helped him put the voice box into the dog's paw, I felt like I was witnessing something personal and meaningful. But just as I was about to seal the dog up, I made the mistake of hitting the button once more, playing his message aloud. This time, though, there was no discomfort. The message was pure and loving, and the dad didn't seem to mind at all. Still, I couldn't shake the feeling I had from earlier. I felt like an intruder, listening to something that was meant to be kept between the father and his daughter. I apologized, but he just laughed it off. He was clearly just a dad, doing something nice for his kid. Still, it made me realize how personal these simple, stuffed animals could be. A few days later, I had another experience that made me realize just how deep the emotional connection people have with these toys could go. A family came in, and they were looking to make a memorial bear for their grandmother, who had just passed away. They had a recording of her voice, and they wanted to preserve it inside the bear. As I helped them through the process, they told me about how much their grandmother had meant to them, how she'd been a constant presence in their lives. When they played the recording, the grandmother's soft voice filled the store. "I love you all so much," she said. "Remember, I'm always with you." It was a tender, beautiful moment, and I could feel my eyes welling up with tears. It was so clear that this bear wasn't just a stuffed animal, it was a vessel for a memory. For them, this little bear would carry their grandmother's voice, something they could hold on to forever. It reminded me of why I was there, to help people create something special, something that would hold meaning for them. But not all the requests were so emotionally charged. There were the oddball requests, too, like the couple who came in and wanted to record the heartbeat of their unborn baby inside a bear. They thought it would be cute, something for their child to hold on to after they were born. But when the heartbeat played, it wasn't the soft, rhythmic thumping they were expecting. It was more of a rapid, frantic pulse, like a warbling sound that didn't quite match the calmness they had imagined. They smiled, but I could tell they were a little taken aback. It was a reminder that sometimes things don't turn out the way you expect. And then there were the times when people tried to be funny. Like the guy who came in with his girlfriend and wanted to record the Rick James line, "Cocaine is a hell of a drug," to play in the Bear. He went to the bathroom to record it, but the echo in there made it sound way louder than intended. He came back to the counter, laughing nervously, clearly realizing that this might not have been the best idea. I couldn't help but chuckle along with him, even though I knew the other customers were side-eyeing us. Working at Build-A-Bear wasn't just about making toys, it was about creating moments. Whether it was a heartfelt message, a funny inside joke, or a memorial for a lost loved one, those little bears held pieces of people's lives inside of them. It was sometimes awkward, sometimes emotional, and always interesting. And while I don't work there anymore, I'll never forget how those moments shaped my understanding of the people who walked through those doors. We all have our stories, and sometimes, we just need a bear to keep them close.